Hello, Year 3. So today we're learning about turns and angles, and to help us, I've got a Chewbacca here, or Chewie from the Star Wars films, if you've seen any of those. And he's going to help us learn our turns and angles today. So I've got all these 4 places, and we're going to try and help Chewie get to each of them. So at the moment, Chewie is facing the playground, okay, and we want to help him to get to all the different places. But at the moment we can't help him because we don't know our basics. So before we can help him get to school, or the library, or the swimming pool, we need to think about how we can get him there. Okay, so this hopefully will help us. Okay, so here we've got a compass, basically. We've talked about compasses before in school, and at the top of our compass we've got north, then we've got east here, south and west. And when we talked about compasses before, you shouted at me a rhyme that you had learnt to help you remember which way a compass goes. And some of you had different ones, but I think the most common one you told me was naughty elephants sneeze. No, it wasn't. I can't remember what it was. Okay, I'm going to tell you one that I remember. I know the ones you told me had something to do with elephants in. The one that I remember is never eat shredded wheat, which is a type of cereal which I don't like. So I do never eat shredded wheat. Okay, now if you remember when we started to learn about our clocks, we learnt about the directions they can go in. Okay, so if they're going kind of backwards on a clock, we would call it anti-clockwise because that's the opposite way to the way it would go around a clock, wouldn't we? But this way is clockwise because that's the way we would normally find ourselves going on a clock. So there's 2 things we've already learnt. We've remembered north, east, south, west. North is always at the top when we're looking at it like this. Okay, so the north will always be there, east will always be here, south and west. And if we're going this way round, it is clockwise. If it is this way round, it is anti-clockwise. Now, the third thing we're going to learn about this. If you can see, we've got our circle, but I've drawn my lines to create our 4 points of the compass. What have I now created? Each of these is now a quarter, isn't it? Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. So if you put them together, we've got a whole. So each of these is a quarter. So we can describe this as a quarter turn. So if Chewie is facing north and he does this, he has taken a quarter turn clockwise. Okay, that's gone quarter. But let's try it again. He's facing north and I want him to take a half turn clockwise. That's 1 quarter, that's 2 quarters, that's a half. Oh, so he's now taken a half turn clockwise. Equally, we could, if we wanted to, make him do a 3/4 turn, so 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3/4 turn, or even a full 4 quarter, a full angle turn. Now, the next thing, in fact, let's write that down. So, from there to there is 1 quarter. If we went the whole way around, obviously, it would be half, but it's still, on its own, it's a quarter. That would be 3 quarters. This whole angle inside a circle, okay, is 360 degrees. So if you were to turn round, okay, all the way, we'd say you've turned 360 degrees because you've turned all the way around. So if you're turning a quarter, you might not just say a quarter turn, you might call it what the angle is worth. Okay, so a quarter turn is worth 90 degrees. Okay, and that's really important. We're going to be doing lots and lots of work on 90 degrees this week. And you know it's a 90 degrees turn because it's this perfect L shape, and often it will show you having this kind of box in the corner to show you it's a perfect 90-degree turn. And we're going to be using that a lot this week. Okay, so remember, this way is clockwise, this way is anti-clockwise. So I'm going to turn Chewie some ways, and I want you to think about what kind of turn it is, and is it clockwise or anti-clockwise. So he's starting here. Okay. What kind of turn has Chewie done? You can pause, and then when you're ready you can press play again, and we'll do this a couple of times. So I'm hoping you've paused and worked it out. So he's done a 90-degree turn, or an anti-clockwise, a 90-degree or a quarter turn anti-clockwise. Okay, we're going to leave him there. So this is his starting place. and that's his finishing place. Press pause. Okay, this time Chewy has done half a turn anti-clockwise. Okay, what about if he's facing here? So this is his start point, and now he's facing here. Okay, he's done a quarter turn or a 90-degree turn clockwise. Okay, last one. He's done a half turn or 180 degrees turn clockwise.